Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Season 2 PHC semifinal game. Today, we're going to see the Virgins at the Rangers.
Now, in their season series, the Rangers beat the Virgins twice, but both are very close games by a score of 3-1 and 4-3. So it should be a good matchup.
I agree. So, Ryan has, in the past, he's only ever lost to Declan and to Owen R. Owen V has never beat him. However, Owen V did play him pretty close in their last game together. So I think he does have a shot. I think Ryan's definitely the more likely champion in this game, but still possible for Owen to win.
I mean, sometimes we have games where it's like you already know who's going to win when you go into it, but this is one of those where you expect Ryan to win, but you don't know. It could go either way.
That's right. So it seems like Owen was able to keep the pig on Ryan's side for most of that first 45 seconds or so, but Ryan's able to get it over into Owen's corner, putting on the pressure. This is, as we saw in Ryan's game against Declan, in this stadium, one or two goals could make all the difference because it's really hard to score. So if you're able to just slip one by, it could cost you the game.
Ryan's been pretty good about keeping the pig on Owen's side of the rink here. It's very important.
Yeah. So let's talk about what this game means for the season going forward. The winner of this game is going to go and play Declan in the championship. That looks like almost a goal from Ryan, but he's just not able to get it in. Ryan, why don't you walk us through the two possibilities of what you think the championship would be like depending on who wins this?
So if Ryan wins,
Oh, sorry to interrupt you, but that looks like a goal from the Rangers, a minute 30 into the first period. That is not good for Owen. He's definitely got to put on more pressure and play better offense if he wants to win this. I'm sorry to interrupt you. Why don't you continue?
well, anyways, if Ryan wins, which is looking more and more likely now with that goal, then we're going to have a rematch of last year's championship game, but this time in Ryan Stadium instead of Declan Stadium.
That'll be
Last
exciting.
time it was very close. I think it's going to be a lot closer. I think it's
Yeah, I
going to be a
agree.
very. Declan should win because of his extremely good season that he had, but Ryan always gives Declan a great fight and has beaten him more times than not.
Wow, and Ryan's able to get a kickoff goal behind the Virgins. That is really bad for Owen. Being up by two in this stadium is not good at all. However, it is still early in the game, and anything could happen. But Owen really needs to play better if he wants to have any chance of taking it home at this point.
Well, anyways, if Owen makes a miraculous comeback and still manages to make the championship, then I don't think the championship would be as close. I think Declan would have an easier time, but Owen's turning into a pretty solid player himself. He can put up a fight in any game.
That's true. And I think, especially as the new player this season, one of the two new players, he's actually done shockingly well. I would say I would put him at the second or third best in the league, actually. Or I'm sorry, I mean third or fourth. That puts him above people who've been here since season 0, including O&M and Simon and Jack. Anyway, that's going to be the end of round 1. We'll be back with round 2 very shortly. Alrighty, welcome back to round 2. Score is 2 Rangers, 0 Virgins, 2 minutes on the clock. And this is the start of the second period. I just said that. Is that going to be another kickoff goal? No, Owen is able to defend it. See, on a shorter stadium, getting it by the person like that almost guarantees a kickoff goal. But this stadium is big enough that even if you crit the pig, you can't actually shoot it from the center of the court, whereas in the smaller stadiums you can. So one thing to keep in mind is that even though the championship game will be played in this stadium, like you mentioned earlier, it's actually going to be reduced in size to the original regulation size, which is 17 by 9. So that'll make it a lot easier to score on. So how do you think that'll affect the outcome of the championship versus if it was just the big stadium?
I think that helps Ryan actually because Ryan beat Declan twice last season and in the Christmas special on a 17 by 9. Meanwhile, Declan won on the current size 23 by 13.
In
So
terms
I
of,
think this gives Ryan like a much better chance of winning.
I agree. And in terms of Owen, I think it's the same deal. He's shown that he's not really able to score in this stadium, in this game at least. And if it were a smaller stadium, he might have a better chance against Declan. And I understand that you spoke about Ryan because it is looking increasingly likely that he's going to be the winner of this game. We're not halfway through, and it's unless you've played the game, it's hard to understand how hard it is to score in this stadium and how unlikely it is.
Ryan is almost positive he's going to switch it back to regulation sizes here. This experiment has not gone too well, I would say, for the stadium. I bet if he beat Declan, though, things would be different. But this league is all about being the top. For Ryan, it's all about being the top players, and the way to do
That's
that
right.
is a smaller stadium.
Looks like Ryan almost got a goal in there. It seemed as though Owen wasn't sprinting when he was trying to go after the pig, which almost cost him yet another goal. Wow, what a save from Owen. That's one of those ones that would have been a goal in the old goals. But it looks like it doesn't matter. Ryan's able to get it in there anyway. So that brings the score up to 3 Rangers, 0 Virgins. Now, with only about 2 minutes left on the clock, I think the Virgins really have no chance. Unless Ryan does something completely awful and is not able to defend against 3 kickoff goals in a row, I don't think Owen has a chance. Seems like the ref is being a little incompetent and thinks that 6 seconds don't matter in the game, which they absolutely do. You could score in 6 seconds. It's unlikely, but if you're going to get a kickoff goal, that's how long it takes.
I would say it takes 3 seconds to score if you do the kickoff goals perfectly.
Exactly. See, and that just proves our point. Owen could have scored there. It would have been possible. Anyway, that's going to be the end of round 2. We'll be back with round 3 shortly. Welcome back to round 3. Scores 3 Rangers, 0 Virgins. And Ryan, why don't you walk us through what you think the rest of this game is going to look like?
Ryan keeping it in one corner for most of the time possible and just running out the clock. Ryan has no interest in running up the score, unlike other players. Declan, for example. He just wants to close out the game, even if it's a little close. Just make sure you get that win and play solid defense.
That's right. Defense is far more important than Ryan's offense at this point. And although last season Ryan didn't technically win the statistical award for best defense, I think pretty much everyone would agree he did in fact have the best defense. And the only reason that he didn't win it was just because Declan's able to mercy his opponents so quickly. But when the pig is actually on Ryan's side, as opposed to when it's actually on Declan's side, Ryan is a better defender.
However, though, Declan is better at offense still than Ryan, so that's always a matchup that we have to look at when these two play each other.
Exactly. The
And that's
best
probably going to
offense.
decide the championship. Who plays better defense against the best offense?
Wow, unbelievable. Ryan is able to get in at just another goal. Virgins are still at 0. Rangers now up to 4. And no way. There's no way that Owen scores 1 goal every 15 seconds. So I think it's pretty safe to say that this game is effectively over. This has been a really poor showing from Owen, to be honest. I expected him to play it close, if not win it, from Ryan, like his previous games. But I don't know if he's just having an off day or if it's the big stadium or what, but he's just doing really poorly right now. Everything is getting slipped behind him. He's running past the pig, and he's missing his clicks, and he's not sprinting. I don't know what's up, but he seems to be just standing there as well, which is not what he can afford to do right now, not even a little bit. He needs to put on the pressure if he wants to have any chance. I think at this point he doesn't have a chance, but he might as well try because nothing better to do.
You don't get any second chances in the playoffs. If you don't play well or if you have an off night, you go home and your season's over. It's just like that. One chance.
That's right. Ryan's almost able to get another one in there, which would be unbelievable to score 5 points and not get scored on a single time by an opponent as good as the Virgins. Ryan gets a breakaway here, but he's not able to hit it straight. Almost goes in the corner. Owen's able to bring it back up. Maybe Owen will be able to score 1 goal if he's lucky.
And anyways, this will be Ryan's second PHC championship in a row, bringing him to the finals. So
that's
good
right.
for him. 2 in a row.
That's the game. Rangers 4, Virgins 0. And this is going to be, like you said before, this is going to be a rematch of last season's PHL championship, Declan versus Ryan. So that should be very interesting. Ryan definitely wants to defend his title, especially after losing that game against Declan earlier in the season. And Declan is definitely going to come back with a vengeance. He does not want to lose this one. So that'll be very good to watch. That video will be out very shortly. And make sure to check out the description for a link to the newsletter, which has game recaps and all that stuff, so you can keep up with the league even for games that we don't record videos of. And Ryan, do you have anything else you'd like to add?
Nope, just enjoy the game.
Alrighty, so that's going to do it. See you at the championship, and have a good day.